Valtteri Bottas has released a mysterious clue regarding his future in Formula One, and it's now extremely evident that Cadillac sits at the top of his preference list for a return in 2026. But with two available positions, what path will the American squad choose with the second spot, and even more crucially, can Bottas guide them to success from the very first day in the Formula One universe? Speculation about the transfer window never ceases, particularly when drivers such as Valtteri Bottas remain available and eager to rejoin the sport at the earliest opportunity. The Finnish driver shared a particularly fascinating video where he examines a vehicle manufactured by Cadillac, offering encouraging remarks about the cockpit. The Formula One language is quite transparent. Bottas mentions that the cockpit is extremely pleasant and poses to his audience, "Are we fond of this cockpit?" alluding to 2026. The clues continued throughout the complete video. The individual recording, Bottas inquired whether he would enjoy sitting in either of the two cockpits that were present in the vehicle. In response, the 10-time victory achiever answered, "Not at this moment." It represents a highly intriguing wordplay that Bottas decided to present to the Formula One enthusiasts, and considering that he's a seasoned professional, he likely possesses knowledge we lack concerning Cadillac's strategies. Currently, this stands as the most significant clue that Valtteri has revealed about his future, and I believe you cannot fault him for this approach. Numerous other drivers have established their future with alternative Formula One teams, and I'm uncertain why Cadillac hasn't pursued Bottas at this point. He represents a 10-time race victor, possesses a demonstrated qualification record with Mercedes, has excelled as a supporting driver alongside Hamilton regardless of the challenge's difficulty, and stands as an extremely seasoned professional. Beyond that, Bottas also possesses expertise with Ferrari power units. Starting from 2022 forward, he competed for Alfa Romeo followed by Sauber, and given that Cadillac will utilize Ferrari power units, Bottas's knowledge will prove extremely valuable. I prefer to maintain expectations somewhat modest because circumstances can shift within days or even hours. But currently, the circumstances are completely transparent. Bottas shows interest in Cadillac, and Cadillac has demonstrated interest in numerous Formula One drivers, including Bottas. Therefore, the Finnish driver is currently determined to demonstrate to the Formula One community that he maintains his abilities despite missing 2025. Can he accomplish this goal? I cannot identify any reason preventing this. Ferrari maintains a demonstrated history of creating competitive power units, so Cadillac could reach the midfield much quicker than they projected. Remarkably, information has emerged suggesting Cadillac isn't prepared to declare any driver partnership currently. Following Bottas's mysterious message, perhaps the terms under which Bottas seeks to sign an agreement might present challenges for Cadillac. We shouldn't overlook that the Finnish driver announced clearly that he refuses a single-year commitment with any grid participant. Should the venture be long-term focused, then he fully supports it. Therefore, has Cadillac endorsed this approach for Bottas? I recognize that Valtteri's desire to verify that he possesses a Formula One position guaranteed for 2026 could seem somewhat intense, but he might create additional problems by hinting to supporters about something unconfirmed. An official announcement from the American organization remains pending for Formula One press, and until that moment we cannot verify or dispute anything, aside from the reality that every possibility remains open. However, let's assume that Cadillac also shows interest in Valtteri, and that an agreement will likely be finalized sooner than later. What strategies does the American organization hold for Bottas? Clearly, he would be responsible for guiding the team toward understanding necessary car improvements and delivering comprehensive feedback regarding the challenger's characteristics. It proves extremely challenging for newcomers to grasp all regulations simultaneously, and with Bottas participating, this obstacle will be minimized completely. However, as I mentioned, Valtteri aims to achieve significant results, and his track record demonstrates precisely that. He may not represent the primary choice regarding Cadillac's decade-long vision, but I trust that demonstrating optimism and leadership abilities will secure his position with the American organization until at least 2030. We must remember that Cadillac also aims to develop emerging talent, including Colton Herta. While the present Indianapolis 500 competitor lacks significant prospects for Formula One participation in the near future, he's been identified as the American team's upcoming major initiative. However, should he lose this chance, other drivers will certainly compete aggressively for the position. Therefore, who would reject a possible pairing of Bottas and Pérez? Both occupied identical positions within high-performing teams as secondary drivers. Both must demonstrate their capability to lead independently, and both enjoy tremendous popularity within Formula One circles. The major distinction involves Pérez's stronger financial backing, with his supporters prepared to invest up to $30 million for securing his position. Bottas, conversely, presents superior credentials. He never missed a third qualifying session, while representing Mercedes from 2017 through 2021, and achieved 4 additional victories compared to Checo, 10 versus 6. However, in Miami, discussions occurred regarding Pérez's management meeting with Andretti, Cadillac's team director. The former Formula One champion indicated that interest in Checo remains substantial because Lawson and Tsunoda's performance suggested the Red Bull vehicle might be problematic. What we witnessed from Pérez with the Austrian organization in 2024 was absolutely unacceptable, but ultimately, financial considerations matter for teams still establishing market presence and securing partnerships with established Formula One companies. Pérez will certainly contribute tremendous value. Additionally, his expertise can assist the American organization in achieving superior outcomes and accelerating team development. Regarding a potential transition to Cadillac and whether this would appeal to him, Pérez stated, "Should I discover a venture that completely motivates my return, where the organization trusts me and values my career, expertise, and contributions to the team, it would be extremely appealing to evaluate." We shouldn't forget additional young drivers Cadillac has shown interest in, Zhou and Schumacher. Zhou's representative, Graham Loudon, serves as Cadillac's team leader, which appears promising for the Chinese competitor. However, speaking honestly, his Sauber performance seemed somewhat doubtful. I doubt Cadillac would be particularly excited about Zhou's availability, excluding financial considerations. Considering sponsorship aspects, Zhou matches Pérez regarding financial support. Furthermore, the Chinese competitor could assist the American corporation in establishing presence within Asian markets, an area where they've experienced difficulties recently. Concerning Schumacher, it would essentially provide another opportunity when others avoided his services, following James Vowles' comment that the American competitor lacks distinction, resulting in his exclusion from Sargent's replacement consideration. Nothing has proceeded favorably, despite drivers like Vettel attempting to persuade teams that he possesses talent requiring opportunity. Prospects appear unfavorable from this perspective, and should the Cadillac venture fail to materialize, I believe Mick should consider his Formula One career concluded. Therefore, what's our current Cadillac situation? The American organization approaches decisions deliberately without rushing, which seems appropriate. With numerous options available, extensive candidate discussions become necessary while testing their patience. They won't immediately achieve pole positions or podium battles upon entering vehicles. They must remain patient regarding progress, which will ultimately determine team growth with their chosen lineup for sport entry. Financial considerations matter, as concluded by Cadillac leadership, but they won't base complete decisions on this element alone. Possibilities remain for Andretti choosing experienced and young driver combinations, similar to Audi's commitment with Bortoleto and Hülkenberg. This approach appears successful currently, and the team must deliver competitive vehicles for grid competition. This represents Cadillac's mission and Bottas's mission, who's gradually concluding his reserve driver phase and returning to active competition. Considering everything, Do you believe Bottas has secured his Cadillac position following his video's subtle messages? And more significantly, do you envision him competing at high levels with the American organization? Share your thoughts in the comments section below, and afterward, ensure you select the video appearing on your screen immediately.